Hello, my name is Sadie. Welcome back to my channel, Reiki Lay. And today I wanted to come on and do a video about using the first principle of mentalism to change your reality. This is something that my guides and higher self have been really working on with me for the past year, to kind of see things from a different point of view and to kind of change my perspective so that I change my reality and my experience of different situations that I've been involved in. And so the first principle of mentalism is from a book called the Kybalion. It is a very important spiritual text. It was written in the early 1900s. It's based upon the teachings of Hermes and the hermetic principles. And so the first rule of mentalism states, all is the mind, the universe is mental. And what this means is that the universe itself, God itself, everything is mental. Everything is consciousness. Everything that becomes life starts with this energy of consciousness first. I'm saying it usually in all my videos. Everything is energy, and this energy, this divinity, it's intelligent and it's infinite, and it's what turns matter into form. And so why this is important is because your mind is your power center. It is what takes and molds the energy with your thoughts and your emotions to create your reality and to create your experience. And so another quote that I love is from Rene Descartes. He was a mathematician and philosopher, and it is, I think, therefore I am. And this is true because what you think is what you are. If you think that you're limited, flawed, unworthy, not good enough, that is what you will draw into your reality. However, when you shift your thinking and raise your vibration and understand that you are infinite, you are powerful, you are unconditional love, you are a spark of divinity, your reality shifts as well, and you raise your vibration and consciousness. And on this path, on this ascension path, it's important to acknowledge and to begin to understand your true power and how to use your mind. It's your job to see how you influence and shape your experience and mold your reality. When you change your mind about something, you can change the experience and the condition itself. And how to do this is to first observe. There's a book called The Untethered Soul, and the author Michael Singer talks about how the soul is your non-local self, and it's always in a state of observation. And how you can become more observant in your environment is to be mindful and aware of your environment. So being mindful and aware of the here and now. Just taking everything here and now as it is. So right now I'm sitting down, I'm putting my hands on a table, I'm wearing a white shirt, I have a blue striped cardigan. I'm just observing my environment, my immediate environment, without absorbing it, without attaching to any sort of judgment or opinion about my current environment. I'm just here now in my environment speaking to you. I love the movie The Bourne Identity, where the first one, where Matt Damon is like this super spy, but he, at this point in the film, has not remembered who he truly is. He's lost his memory. He has amnesia. But he's in like a bar or a cafe or something, and he's speaking to one of the other characters in the movie, and he's like, I don't know how I know every exit, every door, how much this guy weighs, that this guy has a weapon. You know, he was trained to observe because of his training, because he was a super spy. He was trained to observe his environment, and that training, even though he didn't remember who he truly was, that training actually still was there in his mind. And so he was observing everything without kind of making judgments about it, but just kind of observing his surroundings. And that's the key. We always kind of make judgments, or we're not really in an observation state. We're looking at things through our ego lens, through our conditioning, through our, you know, our experience. And yet we have to kind of surrender the ego view to the higher self and just observe everything that's around, everything that's happening, without absorbing it, without taking it on as our own. Everything that happens is not necessarily yours to take on. And that's one of the first things to remember of how to use this rule of mentalism to change your reality. The second is something I just touched on, releasing judgments. Our judgments have to do with our past conditioning. They have to do with our conditioning, our experience, our, you know, the things that we've been taught, the things that society has shown us, our opinions that we've viewed of certain things or certain people. But our conditioning is not necessarily the truth about things. It's just what we've been told and what we've decided to believe. It's our belief system. And Spirit's always telling me how you see something is how it will appear to you. So again, I think, therefore I am. If I think something's bad, it's always going to appear bad. No matter what good it does, if I see it as bad, I'm never going to get past seeing it as bad if that's what I think about it. So how to release judgment. It's letting go of the idea of good and bad and seeing things from a higher perspective. Instead of saying this is bad or this experience is bad, try asking yourself, what can I learn from this experience? Or how can I change my response to my experience right now? This reminds me of a story that I heard years ago from a Unity pastor when I used to go to Unity Church. And before she became a pastor, she was a teacher. And she knew her teaching career was winding down. And she really wanted to become a pastor. And she prayed about it and prayed about it. And she was told, no, it's not time yet. You need to teach for one more year. And that last year was, at first, the hardest year of her teaching career, because she had a child in her class that was very difficult, had behavioral problems, was labeled a bad kid. And for the first few months of school, every day she would come to work and she would dread seeing him. And she would already be on the defense because she knew that he was going to try to pull something. And of course he did, because that's what she thought. And so that was their interaction. And one day it was so bad that she was going to quit. And, you know, class had just been dismissed, school was over, and she got on her knees and prayed. And she said, God, what do I do? Because I want to quit now, but you told me to stay another year and finish out this year. And the answer that she got was, God told her, you need to see her through my eyes. You need to see this child through how I see you, with unconditional love. And so she thought about it, and the next day, this kid came in, always a problem, but instead of being defensive, instead of being difficult, She just showered him with love. She just said, you know, when he did something good, when he got a good grade on his assignment, she made a point to like make him feel good, to lift him up in front of everybody, to be encouraging, to be caring, to be nurturing. And she saw within a week that his behavior with her completely changed. And she kept seeing his improvement. He started to excel in class. He started to behave great. He ended up being one of her favorite students at the end of the year. And she understood why she had to stay. And then, you know, she left her teaching career and became a pastor. But years later, this kid had found her on social media, and I'm going to start crying because it always makes me cry, because she was crying when she told it. And she said, you know, this guy told her he ended up becoming very successful. He ended up like on Wall Street, like making millions of dollars. But he said to her, you know, you were the person that changed my life. It was because of you and how you treated me, and that you gave me encouragement, and that you lifted me up, that I started to believe in myself. Because he had had a really rough childhood. His parents really weren't around. You know, he had gone through so much in his life, and he's like, you were my miracle. You were what helped me to become the success that I've become. And she understood, you know, 20 years later, she understood why she had to stay and teach that year, why it was so important for her to be there for him, because his purpose was so much more, but he didn't realize it. And she didn't realize that she was the catalyst for him to be the success that he became. And it was all because she released her judgment of him and showered him with unconditional love. And so releasing judgment, releasing how you see something or see somebody, you don't know how that not just changes you and impacts you, but changes them and changes the course of their life and changes everything that they think and believe about themselves. And so I don't know why I'm getting so emotional today about this story. It always makes me emotional, but today I'm like super emotional for whatever reason. I'm a Cancer sun. We're always crying. But when you can release judgment, and when you can truly just see, you know, it's not always easy to see from the eyes of God to shower everybody with unconditional love, but when you can, you will change the experience that you're going through. And the third way to use the rule of mentalism to better yourself and to change your reality is to script your experience. Every day, start your day off with affirmations. As you're going throughout the day, write what you want to occur throughout your day. Start using divine decrees, start using affirmations, and really just be in the state where you're scripting your life. You're scripting the experience that you want to have. And that's the experience that you will start to embody, the energy that you will start to embody, and then that will become your experience. So I hope this video helped. I don't know why I'm so emotional today, but I am. Sending love and sending support for all those who are struggling right now. And just know that, you know, you got this. You can do it. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.